Hi everybody, this is Erica, and this is going to be like a little bit of a different video. I'm just going to talk about some things that are very true to me and very real to me that I have experienced. At 51, I have a pretty storied life, and I just wanted to give advice to either someone who's going through the same things that I have been through and is my age, or someone who's much younger and is kind of approaching some of these obstacles and is not really knowing how to figure them out. So my life was, I knew when I was really young, very young, like 6, 7 years old, that I would be a writer. I knew that's what I wanted to do. That was my passion, and that was when the world aligned. It just, everything in me was on all cylinders. And if anyone's experienced that, you know that feeling is something communicating to you that you are doing what your purpose is. And so I did writing. I went to school and got a journalism degree, and eventually I moved out to New York City and I became a financial writer, which really wasn't my goal. I wanted to be a beauty writer, but that was what was open, and financial writers, they would take you at 23, 24 years old and just throw you to the wolves and make you call people on Wall Street. And the age that I was when this happened, I picked the year of 2001 to go to New York City. And as you know, I witnessed 9/11 firsthand. And everything just changed after that. And I think for a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people chose to quit their job after this happened. Some people got laid off. Things like that were going on. And somewhere in that place, I stopped being authentic. I stopped being myself. And I wanted to be what I thought was safe, secure, and palatable to my parents. And that was the biggest mistake I could have ever made in my life. And it really derailed my life in so many ways. I developed a severe anxiety disorder. I started turning to alcohol. I was never myself. I went into finance and thought it was the safe, secure journey. It was not. I was there during the 2008 collapse, the mortgage collapse, and saw hundreds of jobs wiped out overnight, and people just who had given like 35 years of their life to a place being walked out the door. So when I was doing finance, that was when I was at my worst. That was when just things felt so out of alignment. And anyone who's kind of lived long enough understands when something just doesn't land right. And I would always be the person that I thought corporate would find acceptable to hold on to my job. And when I was there during the 2008 mortgage crisis, there was a lot of attrition. And so I got about 3 people's roles and was paid the same that I was paid for that one role that I was initially hired for. So, and I remember I was working for State Street, and there was like a statement that went out, and it said, you should just be grateful you have a job. And that really, people shouldn't have to feel that way. And companies that treat people that way, it's really, it's bad. It's not, teaching people to just kind of be robots and be compliant. And I understand the need to do your job but feeling like, taking on 3 roles, getting paid for one, and then being told, well, just be happy you're still working. And that went on. So that's when things really went out of alignment. And you know, I got to a near foreclosure on my condo because I was really having a hard time with the anxiety disorder and being able to maintain just everyday functioning. It was becoming almost impossible. And I couldn't find at that time a doctor that was effectively kind of looking at it and treating it. So I was kind of really struggling. And I guess the message of this is to live authentically. Things got bad, really bad, when I wanted to go into sort of everyone else's definition of what success looked like. And that is really the biggest trap we can fall into is, and the world is changing. I think the world that we live in now is very different than the world I was living in 2008. And I think more people are wanting to be very true to their natures. And the beauty of the world right now is that you can start your own business. There's more tools, more information, more anything out there than there was even 10 years ago. And if you're really observant about what's out there, the information that's out there, you can really find something that's authentic to you and learn how to make it your life and your living. So the need to be inauthentic is going down, and the need to be authentic, I think, is actually going up. So that's the good news. And my cousin has a daughter who was born in '99. She's much younger than I am. And when she wanted to go to college, he said to her, she wanted to study fashion. And he said to her, no, I won't pay for your college unless you study business. You have to go into something safe and secure. And she did. She studied business, and that wasn't her heart. And I really want to tell the parents out there, I'm not a parent myself, but I really want to tell the parents out there that your children are not meant to be an extension of you. They are meant to be individuals that are separate from you, that will eventually go on and live their own lives and follow their own paths. And the best parents are the ones that encourage their children to live their authentic journey. And whatever that is, whether it's art, whether it's something more technical, whatever it is, really live an authentic life. And it may take time. It may take time to get to that point where you know exactly what's right for you. I switched and went more into the artistic field of aesthetics and makeup artistry and things like that. And even with the bumps and the hiccups and the issues that had gone on, it was more authentic to me. And even there's a book called Finding Your North Star by Martha Beck, and I would encourage anyone who's feeling lost in life right now to read that book, because the book is absolutely brilliant. And she talks about the pain of a false life, the pain of living a false life, and the pain of living an authentic life. And you will experience pain even living an authentic life. But that pain feels very different. It feels clean and necessary, while the other pain feels just horrible, and it doesn't feel like it's supposed to be there. So that's one thing that she talks about. And she also says your authentic self is a much bigger moneymaker than your social self. So your social self is the face you put on every day to go outside and be acceptable to society, and your authentic self is who you are when no one's watching, and what you feel, what you believe, your ideals. So this is really just kind of a story about really being authentic. I had to leave the Boston area. The city life was not for me. I realized it was not for me. I ended up selling the condo. It did not go into foreclosure. I ended up selling it by the skin of my teeth. And it was a lesson in not relying on a single job to sign a 30-year contract with someone. So I don't, it's not something I'm ever going to get into again unless I can pay in cash. But if we're going through a hard time, just know that we all do. We all do. And we all experience downtimes, and we all experience periods of confusion and things where nothing seems to really feel right. But an authentic life, I've done home health care recently, and I see the people that are elderly that are kind of in a state of feeling satisfied and feeling at peace with where they are in their lives. And those are the ones that lived more authentically than the ones that lived to kind of just keep the bills paid and make everyone happy. So this is just my input. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.